Good morning, Starcraft 2 and chocolate chip pancake fans. I am Anaris. It is Tuesday, October 12th, 2010. Got a 1 versus 1 game today on Xel'Naga Caverns. We have CheckPrime spawning as Zerg down in the bottom left, and in the top right we have UFOMercy spawning as Protoss. Something you are probably noticing right this second, look at the sides of the screen. Do you see any black lines? No. Well, hopefully not. I think I fixed it. I think I finally got that whole letterbox thing figured out. So thank you for everybody that emailed and gave me suggestions and whatnot. I was finally able to get the thing working. So yeah, I'm very happy to see that that my game will look decent on YouTube. It'll work on the internet. So good times there. And you can take a look at the Protoss player. He does have his pylon up at the top of the ramp. I'm not sure I agree with this positioning. Maybe it's just me, but I don't like putting, you know, important buildings right next to not only the ledge, but also the ramp here. But whatever. I'm not the one playing the game, so we'll just keep watching here. You can see we do have a probe coming out right now. Drops a gateway at 12. Meanwhile, down the Zerg base, we can see that he is currently sitting at 14 supply. Overlord popped a minute ago. So we do have a drone coming in, just finishing right now, and nothing being built just yet, although we do have a drone heading out of the base as we speak. And it is going to head north, while this second drone is actually going to come down here and build a hatchery. So we do have a hatchery going down before both a gas and a spawning pool. So going to see a very macro-oriented play from CheckPrime. And taking a look up at the Protoss base, we do have a gas assimilator going down, and as well as a second pylon. So pretty much just a standard build opener so far for the Protoss player. Haven't seen too many wacky Protoss builds lately. I need to really get some games of TLO on here. I love his creativity, man. It's always great to see him play. So you can see that this drone is coming up here, scouting the Protoss base. He is seeing, you know, exactly what you see right now. There is a cybernetics core going down. There is no second gateway. There is, however, one gas that is saturated at the present time. You can see that the Zerg player doesn't have any gas just yet. So we may actually see some sort of early Zergling play, as that would actually throw off the Protoss player, especially if he goes for a more Stalker and Sentry-oriented build. But, I mean, with the positioning of these buildings, getting some Zerglings up here would be very difficult, so timing is going to be crucial on that. And, of course, you can see the Overlord coming up here, checking out the top of the ramp. He does see what is going on. We do have a Stalker being chrono-boosted there. And taking a look at the income tab, you can see that UFO does now have all 6 probes working on the gas currently, whereas CheckPrime is currently working off of 1 extractor. And this probe is going to come in here, scout around, see not too terribly much at the present time. Don't have any Zergling speed on the way just yet. Then again, we don't really have the gas for it at the present time. You can see, however, there are 2 queens coming out, and there is a spine crawler being thrown down at the expansion. That's actually a very good idea, because that probe was able to see that there was an expansion. And he's probably thinking that he can send some units down here to try to harass that. So that spine crawler will definitely thwart any sort of super early push by the Protoss to knock out that fast expansion. Meanwhile, you get the Stalker here. He's just trying to kill these Zerglings. Zerglings kiting him around, pretty much just keeping them busy. As you can see, the Protoss player does have a second gateway down now. He is he's building a sentry, also getting warp technology, as the Zergling tries to get up here to scout. And, you know, it's open right now, but those 2 Stalkers were in a pretty good position to block that off. So not too terribly much going on at this point. Both players are macroing up. We do see that Zergling speed is on the way. I really think that we are going to see a early push here by CheckPrime with the Zerglings. I think that's probably going to be his best move at the moment, considering what UFO is going for, especially if he can catch UFO out of position. But it's going to be all about the timing and all about the micro. He's going to have to get these units right here out of this choke point, or else it's just going to be game over, especially with this sentry right here. So this probe is going to come down here, scout, see what there is to see. Like I said, both players just continuing to build up. You can see there are a lot of drones being built here, as well as many Zerglings. You can see that 16 of them were just queued up, and a bunch of them popped just now. And that probe just died a super quick death, as the Zergling collection does start to come down here. And it looks like it is going to head out for the first major battle of the game. And taking a look up here at the Protoss base, you can see that a forge has gone down, as well as a pylon at the base of the ramp. So we are going to see a Protoss wall here, so to speak, with sentries to reinforce it. So with some pretty good force field placement, this would actually be blocked off pretty easily. And I believe that CheckPrime actually realizes this. There are plenty of sentries here, more than enough to block off the main entrances, which for the Zerglings you can see would be right here, and to a lesser extent right here. And like I said, CheckPrime realizes that, so he did try to attack that just a little bit, but not too much came of that. So you can see there are now 2 more gateways being built on in the main Protoss base. So we are going to see probably actually a 4-gate sort of fast expand compared to a lot of games for Protoss. But meanwhile, down here at the Zerg base, you can see that gas is being gotten for him. We do have a roach den going down as well, and don't have a second gas up here just yet. Probably see that in the very near future. Right now, these Zerglings are continuing to just hang out, pretty much just to make sure that the Protoss doesn't expand out too terribly much or try to get any map controls. You can see there is a drone coming up here, and you can see the highlight of a hatchery going down right there. So CheckPrime is actually expanding again. He's trying to stay one base ahead of Protoss, as UFOMercy is sending out another scout, which will die very quickly here before it is able to actually see anything. Don't have any observers yet out for UFO. You can see that he's just running off of those 4 gateways, and he did transfer some probes down here to this expansion, so he will be getting some increased income off of that. And taking a look at the income, you can see that clearly CheckPrime is at an advantage in terms of the mineral income. However, UFO, of course, he has had both of his geysers running for longer, plus he has this 3rd one, so you can see his gas income is definitely looking good there, as he is actually getting the Weapons 1 upgrade. This is actually going to help him a lot versus the Zergling heavy army. However, we're going to have to wait and see how it fares against the Roach-Zergling combination, because together, depending on what CheckPrime does with this, I mean, he could simply try to micro his way to victory, but he could also really throw on a lot of heavy pressure. He's got 2 hatcheries right now, 3rd one on the way, and it looks like he's getting ready to build a 4th one at the high yield, so he will be running off of 4 bases when all is said and done. And taking a look up here, you can see this probe is going to scout around. Most likely he's going to check this out, which is going to cause the Protoss to push, because he's going to realize that he has to take some map control and stop the Zerg from expanding unchecked, or else he will definitely lose this game. And taking a look here, that Zergling did just die super quick, just another scout. You can see Protoss is moving out, but his forces are very much split up. He is actually pretty vulnerable at this point to having some of his units picked off. You can see there's 4 Stalkers here, a couple over here, and the Zerg, it looks like, is moving out and is going to try to take advantage of that, as he does get a surround on 3 of the Stalkers. Force field's not really helping the matter, but at that point it's too late. The Protoss was not able to save those 3 Stalkers and is going to have to retreat now that he has seen the size and unit composition of CheckPrime, which is, if played right, can definitely kill this army. But I mean, like I said, we're just going to have to see what happens and whether or not this is microed well. As you can see, that CheckPrime did kind of catch these units off guard just a little bit. Did snipe a Zealot there real quick, nothing too fancy though, as both armies are beginning to engage each other in the first really big battle of the game. You can see force fields are going down everywhere. Pretty good placement. He's doing a very good job of keeping these roaches out of the fight. He's basically only engaging half the roaches at a time, and he's continuing to use the force fields to funnel the Zerg and basically make all these ranged units just stand in wide and wait for their turn to do damage. And really, UFO could do a little bit better job of microing back those Stalkers there, but he probably thought, what the heck, he's got the victory. But now, these expansions are really starting to show their strength, as CheckPrime is really able to reinforce with a ton of Zerglings and more roaches on the way, as you can see. So he is pushing back this Protoss force definitely with these Zerglings. You know, the Protoss is trying to kite back, but, I mean, that's pretty much... well, you know what? He might be able to put that back. Now, I'm just going to eat my own words here. You see, I'm human, I make mistakes. Protoss was able to push it back. But here comes another wave of Zerg by CheckPrime, and like I said, I'm just not sure that the Protoss player is going to be able to withstand the continuous assault, because, like I said, take a look at the income again. You can see that CheckPrime is ahead, and he has actually been ahead for a while, and he has the potential to get even farther ahead if he just stops and macros up for a second. But right now, he is pushing the Protoss into a very bad spot. He is now basically cornered. He's trying to get out, but the roaches are doing a ton of damage. The Zerglings are keeping up. More are definitely on the way, and that was the complete absence of a GG by UFOMercy. You can see that basically CheckPrime just hard countered the Stalkers. Nothing really too terribly fancy there, but he was super aggressive with both his macro and just the constant pushes on the Protoss, really punishing him for trying to get that early expansion. So, and basically denying the map control too. So really, I think UFOMercy just let CheckPrime expand way too much, and that was his downfall. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick game, and I will see you guys later.